Hello everyone, it's me, Johnny G, and it's been quite a while since we've done a video like this. And this particular video, I've intended to do probably about a half dozen times at this point. I've started recording it a couple, never quite finished, or I wasn't happy with how I was relaying the message that I'm trying to get across. And I've also had many things happen in between the first time that I've tried to record this and now that kind of fit in this a little bit better now that we're done, now that we're through these events and various things. And this is meant to be a channel update type of video. Like I said, I haven't done one of these in a very long time, and I used to do them like after the ends of the video creation events, and well, we've had 2 go by. And I haven't really done an update. We've also had some major things happen. And, happen with the channel, as well as other things overall. And I just have yet to really talk about things. So with that said, as I said, today is going to be a channel update. We are going to talk about a few different things that have gone on recently, and we're going to take our time from there and move forward with a new year and talk to you about our goals and other things that are happening in this time. So, to start, first and foremost, let's talk about the video creation events, because those are something that, again, I used to do this with the video creation events. I used to do this with what was coming and to let you know what was coming with the channel or what happened recently, and we would do a prize unboxing. And the thing is, this is technically a prize unboxing, and like I said, for the amount of times I've tried to start this video, I've already cut this open, but this is actually from the You and Blaze video creation event. It's a while ago. 6 months at this point, roughly. Or more. But this was the prize I received for that. And way back then, what I initially did was, for that video, I did a cooking video, which was the first time I had ever entered any kind of food-related, cooking-related item into the Arknights video creation event. And what I did was I made used longevity noodles, which turned out to become a family favorite dish. It's something that we actually really like here, using actual recipes. Now, I wanted to do more, but it just didn't work out time-wise with me. But I ended up, for the first time ever, in a top 10 situation. I'd never done that in any kind of contest since I was in the spelling bee in 5th and 6th grade, and I won those. But I managed to make it into the top 10 and meet a lot of cool people because of that. It was an amazing experience. And it wasn't the first time that I had done something Arknights cooking related. As you guys know, I've also made Lapland's Millefoyer on the channel. And I did the gingerbread Lupos and Doctor, where I made the cookie cutters, 3D printed them, and then actually made gingerbread cookies and iced them. That was a ton of fun. But this kind of renewed my interest and drive into making Arknights food-related content on the channel here, and continuing with my love of Arknights outside of the game in a way, but using in-game lore and stuff like that. And being that that was such a prominent thing in the story of that particular event, that's where I decided, you know what, instead of all 5 of my entries for the contest being all gameplay related, we're going to do something different. We're going to do something fun. We're going to make something food related based on something from this event. And in that case, it was the longevity noodles. And again, I wanted to do more. I was going to do the mooncakes that Blaze was trying to hunt down, but I just didn't have the time, and I was struggling to find matching recipes that really gave me the info that I needed, because I was getting more of items to shop for, like actual mooncakes that you could buy, as opposed to a recipe to make stuff homemade. But I did have some ideas on how to do it. There was just going to need some time that I was running out of and didn't really have to make this possible. So it is what it is. No big deal. But that video creation event went amazing, and it started something, I guess, created a little bit of a monster in a way, in the sense that I want to continue with making more Arknights food videos. Now that said, before we jump into the next event, we'll unbox this because this is a plushie. And the prizes for that event were one of the Sui sibling plushies that were available at the time of the three sisters. And that is Ling, Dusk, or Nyan, and I got a Dusk plushie. Now, as you guys have followed along with if you guys have followed along with the channel, you guys would already know that I do have the girls already. I have all three of them. So I ended up picking Dusk because Dusk is an artist, and my wife is also an artist, and she liked the idea of having her. So she actually picked Dusk. So Dusk will be hers since I already have one. But adorable little plushie, as you guys can see. Embroidered eyes and details and stuff as usual. Yes, there are some things that are printed on. She got her little horns there, her hair, lots of hair. But then one thing that's cool is with some of these, you can actually take off this cloak. And in this case, there, that's off of her. And you see her little outfit underneath, her tie, her little other cloak, which also has little embroidered details and stuff on it. Very cool. Very nicely stitched, and tiny details there, which are done very well. But then on the back, there's her tail. Her little tail, complete with the little fins and stuff on it, which is really neat. And yes, I did just kind of give you an upskirt shot of her unintentionally. Sorry, Dusk, don't hate me. Anyways, but really cute design. And as always, the Yostar plushies, or rather the Arknights plushies in general, are amazing. And then in the back of the cloak, there's a little bitey for anybody that likes bitey. But a very fun little prize and reminder of how things went. So this one's gonna go to my wifey, and she'll finally have one of her own. Now, again, this is one of 2 video creation events that have passed. So I'll take a sip of coffee before continuing. So the second video creation event that passed was for the Exusiae Altar event. And that one also went very well, and we continued the trend. We decided to continue to make food. Now, of course, I entered some gameplay videos as well, but my food video was picked. And this time they did a different format with how things were. And I think things kind of got a little bit messy because I think a lot of people just went in thinking of the old format and started voting on the main page. But it was kind of cool. They gave you a little bit more leeway as far as votes. I think you could vote for 3 times in each category, and they divided things up into category, whether it was gameplay or fan creation, which was really cool. But I believe that they, like I said, didn't make things very clear, because it seemed like there was a ton on the initial gameplay tab and people weren't going enough to the fan creation. But those who did were starting to really see some awesome stuff. And there was a variety of amazing videos in this. And then there were, of course, your typical ones with your meme thumbnails and stuff like that that are just, why? But the gameplay and stuff behind them were amazing. Awesome video content. And then other fan creations, lore deep dives, and stuff like that that were just absolutely baffling how amazing the other Arknights creators are in the space. And I love to see it. And with this one, what we did was another spin off of the story of the event, where Exusiae had the phrase that she said with Lemuin when they didn't want to fight, or they had something that they wanted to keep a secret from the other temporarily, where they'd say apple pie with mayonnaise, and the other would repeat, had a slice, want another. So I actually went ahead with the concept of making apple pie with mayonnaise, but we altered a sour cream apple pie to replace the sour cream for the mayo. And let me tell you, granted, I didn't make top 10 or anything like that, but I was in a very good position within the fan creation category. I can't remember exactly where I ended up placing, but it was high enough that I ended up getting the digital in-game rewards, and I got a Google Play gift card and some other stuff. But in the end, the cool thing about it was when you've got very picky kids who don't like to eat a lot, who are very picky about how things taste, but practically devoured that whole pie before I got any more after the video. That's a whole different ball game, and it surprised me because the way that pie tasted, I was expecting more of the mayo flavor to come through, but it was not there. It was subtle. It was very good. And our friend of the channel, Rosabels, had suggested that maybe it would be even better if we made homemade mayonnaise instead of using store-bought. So that's an idea that I might try in the future to incorporate it in a different way and see how it works. With that said, though, that event also went very well and continued to inspire my drive to make Arknights food. We've had that. And since then, I've made a dinner date with Lapland for her birthday, which was just a silly, stupid video that I made and has gotten a lot of love. But beyond those events and how things have done for the channel's been doing well, despite the fact that I've been very inconsistent. And that's kind of where this update takes a little bit of a downward turn. And we'll talk about the things that have kept me occupied and busy for the most part that have denied me my consistency. But what we're hoping to get back to, as well as many other things here in the future. And more or less, I was doing pretty well up until around the time we were getting ready to go for the beach in September of this year, September 2025. We were trying to accomplish a lot. And I've said this a few times during streams and during when I talk about things on live on X and other platforms and things like that. I've talked about the fact that we laugh because even my mom has said this at one point where we've never really fully unpacked in our house. We've been living here for 5.5 years at this point. We moved in May of 2020. And the thing is, despite that, we have boxes and stuff in the basement and things that aren't put out. Some of it, yes, is like our decorations for holidays and things like that, but we have places that we could put things that we aren't really putting things, and we have stuff that we need to get rid of and just, say if it's not going to be used or whatever for a long period of time, let's just get rid of it, let's sell it, let's do whatever. We've got other things that are sitting around that are taking up space that we should just either throw out, donate, get rid of, sell it, whatever. And at the same time, we've had our focus on so many other things that in a way we just haven't quite settled in a way. It's so strange to think of that, but it's just true, because we find ourselves continuing to make messes in our house and having like slightly organized but yet unorganized chaos. And it's an awful thing when you have an entire house of people with every single one of us having ADHD and a couple of us having some form of autism, whether diagnosed or undiagnosed, but it's a very hard and very chaotic thing. But we started a process this year of cleaning up our act overall. We started cleaning our house, and in around September, we were trying to aim for having the main area cleaned up so that when we came home, the only thing we were going to have to focus on for the rest of the year was the basement. And that was just a slow project that could be worked on through the winter, because I'd like to full on clean our basement, seal in any gaps and holes, because over the last summer, or this past summer, I mean, we actually installed new windows. I learned how to use the grout and cement and stuff to put these new basement windows in, which were pretty cool. It was something I'd never done before, and taught myself how thanks to a couple YouTube videos. But so I've got new windows and stuff down there. It's pretty cool. The old ones were actually cracked and broken before we moved in, so it helps to maintain the heat and things like that, and prevent leaks, that kind of thing. But the thing is, despite that, the goal is to completely clean up our basement, scrub it down, and I'd like to make an area for my kids to be able to go down there and practice with their hockey stuff and set up a net that they can shoot on, because it's a stone and concrete basement and there's plenty of room that they'd be able to do that. But we never quite got as far as we wanted to with the main area, the upstairs of the house. And the days that I was focused on that, I was also severely unmotivated in ways that I was only accomplishing little bits at a time. And I was kind of putting my channel on the back foot. And I kept telling everybody, hey, I'm busy, I'm doing other stuff, but it was dragging me down further, not being able to sit here and create content or stream as often as I wanted to. And from that point on through now, the main focus has been doing what I could with Arknights events, but other than those, it's been our Friday family streams, because that Friday family gameplay, whether it's on stream or not, was a necessity to me to keep me happy and to keep me sane and to keep the family doing something together enjoyable. Because in a way, our family's kind of weird, that if we're not doing something together, everybody's off in their own separate way, our own separate worlds, And sometimes, for me in particular, I need that closure, and I need to have everybody together doing something for me to feel good. And when we do stuff together, it's not that I'm forcing everybody. Everybody wants to. Everybody loves to. And we do things from video games to board games and card games to just doing some sort of a chore or task together, that when we work together, we accomplish, everybody stays motivated, and everybody feels better about it. So with that, that's kind of one thing. But cleaning the house has been something that's been a on and off job that I've been doing all year, and we're still not done. We still have stuff to get rid of. We still have things that I need to clean and sell and whatnot, that it's just sitting here taking up space. It's not being used. Nothing's being done with, and it's not being decorated with, put on shelves or anything like that. So what's the point? But various other things on top of that since that time, since September, have also taken up my time, with my kids' hockey schedules and a variety of other things going on there, which next year hockey is going to be a little bit different, because our youngest wants to step out of the travel league that he's in, because he'll officially be old enough to join the team that Toby's on, my oldest. And with that said, there's a lot less travel, and the practice schedule is the same. They'll be practicing together, and most of their game schedule is going to be within similar times during the week and whatnot, so you won't run into as much difficulty with that. But there'll still be some weeknights and things that we may run into some problems, but we'll work around that with the channel. But other than that, our house has been a priority. Us together has been a priority. And as you guys know, in the past, I was struggling financially with various different things. And we've pushed forward with changing those things and working with my mom and other family to improve our situation. And we're finally climbing out of debts that we've gotten to a point where we can relax. We can spend a little money here and there comfortably without going overboard. We did for Christmas here and other things. And with that said, it's just things have started to shape up despite my inconsistency. Now, the other thing that has been a major issue lately is the fact that I've been sleeping a lot. And I've come home from work quite a few times, and I'd go to take my usual nap. I always feel like I need a nap, usually it's 45 minutes to an hour tops, and I'm up and I'm doing stuff. A lot of times lately, though, I've done that, and I've gotten up. And after getting up, unfortunately, I was back down. Or I was sleeping, after snoozing my alarm a couple times, I'd fall back to sleep and be out for another hour or two. I'd get up just in time to either see the wife, help her, get some dinner or whatever, or see the kids off the bed and get myself cleaned up and get some food and get ready for bed myself. I just felt severely dragged down and unmotivated to do anything. And I don't know what caused that, but I will say that it's getting better, that it's almost, I have not had any bouts of that since being on my little work vacation here. Anybody who's not familiar to the channel, if you're still watching at this point, every year in around Christmas time, shortly before, I get a paid company vacation because I'm a corporate employee for the business that I work for. I'm an IT guy, but we're part of the corporate division. And because of that, corporate holiday is at the end of the year through Christmas and New Year's. So I've been off basically since like the 18th of December, and I'm off through the through January 5th. So 18th or 19th. So I've been off since the 19th of December, and I'm off through till January 5th. I go back. But since I've had that holiday, I've had plenty of time to rest, to feel better, to de-stress, to decompress from work, and I think that helped majorly. I think I got rid of a lot of stress and things that was what was causing it. I was just burnt out, needed that time to rest and needed that time to relax. And I've been spending a lot of time with family lately too, and it's been very much helping, despite everything else going on. So that's been another issue that's kind of put back my consistency here with the channel. And for the last month and a half, I haven't made any Arknights content, which has been a really down thing for me. It's been a downer, to say the least. So there's a lot of things that I want to do in the future, and Arknights is still #1 on the channel, but I've got Limbus Company and other games and things like that, and I've just got to get back into the swing of things, and really doing my best to be consistent and to entertain you all, but to stay me. Now, there are some positives though, and things that have happened in my life and with the channel and everything else that have been going on. And I want to talk about that stuff here as we're getting ready to wrap up this video, and we're getting ready to talk about our goals and things for the future as we go into the new year. So for one thing with me is I've been on a weight loss journey, and to this date, I've lost 22 pounds. And I started off earlier this year hitting a point that I was not happy with. I hit 250 pounds. I wasn't happy with weighing that much, because coming out of high school as an athlete, going into college, playing hockey, playing high school hockey, going into college and trying out for the teams, making it the second year, I should say. But then unfortunately didn't really get to play, but I was an athlete and I weighed 190 to 200 at that time. In high school, it was more like 185 to 190, but going into college, it was 190 to 200, comfortable. But since then, I ballooned up 50 pounds. I've gotten bigger. I've gotten a massive belly on me, and I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with my image, and I'm not comfortable with how it made me feel, along with health problems that I was having. And I have health problems and various things that run in the family. And the only way I'm going to be able to avoid them is by taking better care of myself. So when I got in the scale and found out I hit 250 pounds, I was done. I needed to finally drop the act of saying I was going to make the change, and I needed to make the change. And so far, the only real change I've made is my eating habits, my dieting habits. Now, I was drinking water for a while, and we got into using like the circle bottles, so we have like flavored water and things like that. But I got into the habit for a little bit of counting calories using an app, and that was keeping me consistent in a way of how I was eating. but I also cut back a lot on my portions as well as the type of things that I ate, and I moderated what I was eating, and I changed my lunches to where, like at work, I was, if we didn't have leftovers, or if it was something that I didn't want a lot of, or I felt that I would go overboard, I started getting the healthy choice meals from the freezer section at Walmart, because they're like $2.70 a piece, and I actually like them. I like the taste, I like the flavor, and I feel good after eating and having like a zero sugar soda with it. I feel full, I feel comfy. And so I moved on. And that's been the thing. But I've also had little things that I found, like using low fat milk to mix with like making pudding or something like that, and having extremely low calorie snack with a lot that I could have. But I've also had other like vegetable type snacks. Like I love carrots and blue cheese or ranch, or celery and peanut butter and stuff like that. But I've also had stuff like Halo Top ice cream I found that I really like, because it's got fiber and protein and stuff like that in it, and very low calorie. And I've just had a big change in how I approach drinking things, because I've always had soda and stuff like that on hand. So I switched to zero sugar sodas, and that's been a huge difference maker for me. I have lost a lot of weight just with these changes, not adding exercise in or changing how active I am, but I've also had where I've lost some of the problems too, in a positive way. We've gotten rid of an issue that I had where I'm not afraid to admit I sleep with a body pillow. You guys have seen it, the video that I put out, that was a thing where I said that when we hit a certain amount of subscribers, I was going to show my body pillow cover collection. And well, there's been more since then. But anyway, I use a body pillow because I'm overweight, and because of the fact that, like, if my legs would lay together overnight, I'd wake up with pain in the morning, pain in my knees, pain in my thighs, and stuff like that. So now, after losing some weight and making these changes, I don't have that pain anymore. I don't get those problems. I don't get that pain. I don't wake up very rarely with issues with my hips like I used to, and back pain and stuff sometimes. I don't get that anymore. I don't wake up with those problems. I feel better after making the food related changes that I have. And that's been one amazing thing for me this year. But another thing that's been great on my overall mentality has been making friends. I've met other creators in the Arknights space now that have been amazing. Great people that I love to talk to. And whether it's on social media, whether it's on YouTube, whatever, whether they're in my stream or whether I see one of their videos and comment on it and talk to them, I've made some great friends. And I'm very happy with that. And I may not be the best person to keep up with things. Again, like right now, I've been very inconsistent. I haven't been watching other people's stuff much. And it's not because I don't want to, I just don't have the time. But once New Year's passes, I'll get back into that. But I've met these other creators, and through the first video creation event, the you and Blaze one, the first one with me making the cooking stuff, I've gotten to interact with EchoGen, who's been awesome to me the whole time, which is really cool. But other than that, I've made a couple of friends in the voice acting space, and we'll get to that a little bit later. And of course, thanks to the channel and social media and whatnot, I've made actual legitimate friends that I talk to almost on a daily basis that I haven't had that in forever. I haven't had real friends really ever. I had one for the longest time, and I had a couple people who felt like they were friends and they floated away eventually, and people drift apart. I get it, but right now I actually feel like I have legitimate friends that care and that check on me, and that want to see me do good, and I like to uplift them too. And that helps to motivate me and helps to push things forward. And with everything that we've done on the channel with other content like the cooking stuff, art streams, some of these indie games, partnering with these organizations who have reached out and given me keys and things like that, and I've been able to promote their game and being part of that. That kind of stuff has been amazing. And vocal covers too. Doing the singing vocal covers, which is something I never thought I'd get into, but I now have. It's been an amazing thing and been a lot of fun to do those. And then again, voice acting itself has become a new thing in my life. And I've done it for 6 months now. And in 6 months' time, I've been cast in quite a few roles. A few that are complete now, others that aren't, some that actually were canceled. But I've moved on and been motivated because I've even got an IMDb page now thanks to it. Within a very short amount of time, I was able to be cast as a few original characters, and some of which I'm very, very excited to show you guys the performances and things of not just me, but the entire cast and these projects and the dedicated people behind them. And this has become something that I really love and enjoy doing, and I want to continue. So voice acting has definitely been an active and awesome part of my life for this past half a year. Now, with that said, with all of this positive and negative that we've talked about and updating you guys here on, where is the future of the channel going to be? Now, of course, I'm going to be continuing with things like that. The content that we've talked about, I want to continue including the games that we do now. Arknights, Limbus Company, Fortnite. I want to go back and finish some of the older games like Tears of the Kingdom that I haven't finished, the Ace Attorney trilogy, and any other game that I've started but haven't gotten to finish on the channel. I'd like to go back at some point, whether through streams or something, and finish so that I can comfortably say I did, because I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like leaving something unfinished. So we're going to do our best to continue those. But I want to continue adding voice acting content here on the channel. I want to continue doing vocal covers, more cooking videos, more art streams, more indie games, indie horror games, and so much more here with you guys. So we're going to do that. We're going to have a lot of fun and add that kind of content here in the future. I originally, when planning this video, we weren't quite at the point where we are with the channel. So I do have a little bit of a shift in goals, because my original version of this video, my checklist here that's in front of me of everything that I wanted to talk about, I wanted to talk about how we were excited to continue pushing towards 500 subscribers in the Arknights headhunting program. But the amazing news is we've achieved those. The 2 goals that I set out to make happen over these past couple of years, becoming YouTube partner and being able to monetize my content and becoming an official Arknights creator, are done. We've set those goals straight. We are finished. We've reached 500 subscribers thanks to you all. And with that said, we applied and we were made YouTube partner within a week. I joined the Arknights headhunting program and I was in. I did everything that I set out to do. But now we set new goals. And for one, the celebration hasn't even really begun yet for 500 subscribers. I'm filming this video the day after we've only checked off one item. And if you guys have seen, I made a post on YouTube as well as on social media talking about everything I wanted to do. And that was, I want to do a stream. A lot of stuff is kind of going back to the roots of the channel. Back when I started streaming and started creating content. Back when I was on Twitch. We're going to start doing some of these things and checking them off soon. But one of the first things of going back to our roots is we're doing a Dead Rising stream. But we're going to do the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, and we're doing an entire stream of it. Coming up here, beginning to end. We're going to beat the whole game. Then I have an Arknights vocal cover that's coming out that I've already started working on recording. But it's a lot because it's a Syracusan medley. A lot of EPs. Multiple songs in one. I'm making a celebratory cake and siesta and iced tea for an Arknights cooking video. I'm doing a special Arknights stream in the future, which is going to do some squad randomization stuff. And I'll explain a little bit more later on with that. I'm going to do a vocal cover of Pass On from Limbus Company, the Gregor version. This was a suggestion from our channel friend Lucky. I'm going to learn mirror dungeons in Limbus Company as a special stream. We have a Fortnite family stream planned, which is going to include challenges and various different fun things like we used to do with our squad streams. And the one that we did complete already is Fortnite Kill Race Super Stream, which is what we did last night, where we did our 3 regular rounds of kill races, each with a special challenge added onto it. And then we did 3 additional single match rounds and also included some challenges and various things for a fun extra stream. Now, I almost didn't do it because I kept running into problems thanks to updating my graphics driver, and Fortnite hates that every time we do that. But that was that. We did finish, we managed to get through, and we had a good time. And the last thing that I want to do, just finish celebrating 500 subscribers before we move on to new goals, is I want to potentially create some designs for channel merch to put out there to help support the channel. And that kind of leads into our goals and stuff with the future here. The next major growth goal is going to be 1,000 subscribers, because I need to get to that point to fully complete the monetization effort for the channel. For YouTube partner, stage 1 is 500 subscribers. Then you can monetize your content. If you want to get ad revenue and things like that, we've got to reach 1,000. So that's the next goal. I've already crushed the watch hours part of it, but I need to maintain consistency and put out other content to continue to grow that. The best way for me to continue to reach these as organically as I've done is to continue being consistent, or rather restart being consistent, in short form content. I've noticed such a great uptick in how things do for the channel when I put out shorts, and I haven't been doing it. So I need to. YouTube Shorts is going to be the key for me to move forward with this. So we're going to do that. We're going to push forward with short form content. But as I said, we're going to continue with all the games and stuff that we've done, but we're going to add new stuff in. We're going to add voice acting content. I'm going to continue to do fan dub type stuff if I can, like I've done with the Arknights scenes before. Now, I've tried to post a couple here, but YouTube, the algorithm and stuff like that, it doesn't let me. It picks up and thinks I'm re-uploading the anime itself and stuff like that, so we'll just have to find other ways to do things. But we're going to add other fun content and stuff on here, and we're going to continue to push forward to grow. And I'd like to do some other like types of games when they come out, like different, whether it's AAA or indie or whatever, it doesn't matter. I want to start being able to be on the forefront of some games. Now, some of that stuff's going to still be held off for a while, just until I continue to get things taken care of in my personal life. But as we continue to grow, as we continue to move on, as we continue to build with the channel and where we're at now, I am going to do that. I'm going to get consistent, and I'm going to really start making the push to make this a full-time thing. I want to be a full-time creator. I want to really make the effort into starting a game design business. And I really want to make the effort into being here and more present for my family. So those are the goals and the things for the future that I want to work on. I want to push forward with, and I need your continued support and help in doing so. And I think this year is also going to be huge in the fact that I'm good on all the tech and stuff that I need as far as like my voice acting stuff goes, but I may in the future, probably later in the year, look at sectioning off a portion of this room that will become a specific vocal booth, or maybe even when I get the downstairs cleaned up, the basement, changing that, redesigning and walling off a portion that I can use as a vocal booth. Or there's other things that I might do in the sense of, we've been on a single PC stream setup for the longest time. I may look into getting a gaming laptop or a second desktop that I can set up and do a dual stream, because that's going to be a significant helper when it comes to these issues with Fortnite and other games, and all the load that I put on this PC when I try to stream and record and game at the same time. So that's going to be another thing that I really try to save up for. We're going to get out of the remaining debts and stuff that my wife and I are in. We're going to get rid of some of this crap here that just doesn't make us happy anymore and sits around, and put the money towards home improvement and things that we need and things that I need here for the channel. I'm going to work on trying to get a second PC. So one way or another, hopefully later in this year, in 2026, we'll have an improvement in that kind of content and quality. But that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to talk about right now. And like I said, the goals are to continue with the content that we have and continue to make it more fun and interesting, and to grow towards 1,000 subscribers this time around, and to try and improve the overall quality and consistency of our channel and our stream here. So before I end this video, I just want to say to each and every one of you, thank you so much for making 2025 very special for me. Thank you for helping me to reach and achieve the goals that I have. And thank you for always being here and supporting, whether it's while we're live, whether it's on the VODs, whether it's on the pre-recorded content, whether it's in the community Discord, no matter where it is. Thank you so much for being here and for helping me to begin to realize a dream. For helping me support my family. Thank you. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope 2026 brings you closer to your goals and your dreams as well. And I hope 2026 treats us all well and that we have an amazing year ahead of us. I will see you all next year.